This is my cat. 2025 is upon us, and it is time for me to plan my second 12-week year and my first one using my new Simple 12-week year tracker. This has taken me 3 months of trial and error to try to figure out how to make a 12-week year as painless as possible while integrating with Notion's features, and I think this is it. Let's find out together. This is what the template looks like once you duplicate it into your space. All of this is the sample data. I don't really need my own tutorial, so we're going to go straight to the start a new 12-week year. I'm just going to use the one that's already here, pull it open. So when you click on the start a new 12-week year button in the journal, it's going to pull up these pre-written questions. These are pulled straight from the 12-week year book. I did it on paper this time because I hadn't made this yet. So I'm going to copy my answers in here and I'll get back to you when I'm done. When you do this yourself, take your time. When I did this for the first time, especially visioning my life in 3 years and figuring out what was keeping me from hitting my goals, honestly, I spent weeks on just this part alone. And I think it's why I had a relatively successful first 12-week year. So I'm going to do that work again right now. All right, I went ahead and typed up everything that I had written down by hand into my Notion journal so that I can look back on this with a little bit more ease and it's available as I'm going through my 12-week year. Essentially, you know what? Like, let's talk about it. My vision for my life. I started my 12-week year journey in September of 2027, and I want to hold myself to that date until at least 2026 so that I can see if I'm moving toward that vision. I don't want this to always be 3 years away. So, as of September 2027, I want my musical to have been through several workshops, my YouTube channel to be monetized. I want to be recognized as a Notion creator, ideally featured as one of the creators of the month, or having one of my templates featured would be ideal, whether it's free or not. I have had one featured for free, so probably I'd like one that's paid to be featured. I would love to have 3,000 followers on Medium, develop a gym or a yoga skill that I've never had, and then financially just be a little bit more secure, have a 6 month emergency fund, and be sure that I'm always contributing at least 10% of my income to retirement. My ideal day to day would be doing creative projects, getting to set my own schedule, doing workouts that I find fun and challenging, and a rhythm of just a lot of focus followed by longer breaks to recharge, spend time with family, and varying these depending on both my own energy needs and what's going on in my creative world and with my kids, etc. Just having that ability to structure and then let go and structure and let go is the rhythm that I know I like. And I'm already most of the way there, honestly, but I do want to devote a little bit more time to my own creative projects rather than to my clients. So that is the goal for the next 3 years. When it comes to commitments, things I have to schedule around, I have a vacation I'm leaving on Friday, but I didn't write this in here because I'm going to officially start my 12-week year when I come back from that vacation. But it is gymnastics meet season. I'm going to be out of town a lot in the next 12 weeks to be with my daughter. I have work for at least one editing client, probably two, potentially three. And I have virtual assistant commitments that aren't part of my goals for the 12 weeks that I'll have to make sure that I'm keeping up on. I'll probably have doctor's appointments for the kids. I'm going to the dentist, little things like that. But I quit a job that I used to do during quarter one. And so this is going to be the least busy quarter one that I've had since like 2012. And that's part of why I'm so intent on focusing on my own goals because I want to fill the time that I'm used to working like 70 plus hour weeks during quarter one. So I'm already prepped for this. So reviewing my schedule, I did this work at my first 12-week year. I knew that I had about 20 hours a week that I can do work of any kind, definitively 100% for sure, with no kids around, no need to be a mom. So that includes client work though. So I can't right now spend 20 hours a week on my own creative projects. It's just not feasible, unfortunately. I want to spend at least 6 of those hours per week on deep work that moves my goals forward. I do have a physical fitness goal this time that I'm not counting because I do it in downtime for the most part. But knowing me, the timing is likely going to vary depending on when I'm free over the course of each week, when my energy levels match. But I do know that one of my goals is to batch record YouTube videos 1 or 2 days a month if possible. So that will likely be a large chunk of those 6 hours for the weeks that I am doing recording. So I mentioned I'm being a little bit ambitious and I'm doing the maximum number of recommended goals that the 12-week year has. I'm doing 3 of them, but that's because they're all very different from each other and I think they complement each other. The first one is complete a reading of the whole entirety of my musical Going Viral 101, then reach out to 3 to 5 people about next steps towards getting the show produced. Getting a musical to production is so different than the novel writing I've been doing for the last 12 years. And I know that I'm a beginner when it comes to marketing, when it comes to figuring out next steps, but I do have people in my corner that are willing to help. I'm already working with collaborators, at least informally, and getting the reading done, which is really exciting. But my goal is to have finished a reading, done some revisions based on anything that comes up in that workshop, and then reach out, which is scary. Reaching out to people and asking for help is scary. The tasks are, at this point, a lot of admin. I need to finish the lead sheets. I need to ideally be writing down the scores with melodies, give those to my collaborator who's doing some music work, figure out each character's vocal range because that belongs in the libretto, write the last scene. I've been really procrastinating on writing the last scene, tying it all together. I'm going to do some work on that this week. Then give act to a facelift based on that last scene, smooth the transitions, add stage directions, schedule the virtual workshop, and have it. After that, I want to reach out to my contacts about script in hand readings, or whether I approach a small theater or a producer. Like, I don't know. So I want to learn, and I'm really excited about that. Right now, if I keep the momentum that I've been building, this goal is well within reach. This was part of my 12-week year already, and I wrote the entirety of Act 2 in that 12-week year, so I definitely think that just doing the music and the business side of things is possible as long as I can get over the fear of being a beginner, the fear of failure, and so on. If I was to reach my goal even sooner, I would have not procrastinated on the hard parts. Like I said, I have some songs I've been avoiding finishing because they require me to actually think, and I don't want to. I have the kind of ADHD where I like to do the things that are easy and I don't like to do the things that are hard. Once I get into the mood of things, I can do it, but I'm probably going to have to notate them, which I am very slow at and not even all that good at. I'm trying to like write something that overlaps kind of like Dear Theodosia was supposed to, and it's hard. It's really hard. But at that point, the thing that's going to be in my way the most is a fear of failure or rejection. And the only way out of that is through it. And I know that. So I'm hoping I don't let that get in the way of me reaching out to the people that I want to. So my next goal is YouTube related, and I'll talk to you about it. Why not? I want to reach 500 subscribers and 1,500 watch hours on YouTube. I am so far from this goal that I need to believe that this is more possible. I'm certain that it can be. I want to be posting content that you want. Looking at the content that I've put out so far that I'm drawn to, I know I want to focus more on making content for writers, like as an editor, giving writing tips, giving productivity tips for ADHD writers, the systems to do with those. I do have a general sketch of some videos I can put out over the next 12 weeks. If you have ideas, if you want to see me dive really deep into lyric analysis, I love doing that. I would love to. If you want more tips on how to novel write, I have them, and I'm planning on bringing over a lot of those from my Medium publication so that we can talk through them and work through them together. I want to plan my videos in advance. I haven't been planning my videos in advance. If I think of a video idea, I pretty much script it, record it, edit it, post it with really no schedule, and I don't think that that's serving me, so I want to do that. Pay attention to my analytics, see if my content is engaging enough, work to improve my thumbnails, my titles, upload a video a week consistently for 12 weeks. Even if I get ahead of that on recording them, I need to schedule my posts. I know this. It's going to be better for me anyway, like from a mental health standpoint, to not immediately post something and then stare at analytics for 3 hours. It doesn't do me any good. I want to focus on creating quality content, on creating content that engages, that educates, and that brings you a little bit closer to your own writing and productivity goals. And then I'm probably going to try to integrate more editing, bringing in B-roll, a shot list, etc. There's a huge misalignment. I've become inconsistent. My views have just totally dropped off. The videos I posted aren't appealing to my subscribers. I lose subscribers as often as I gain new ones. It's not working yet. I'm a beginner. I'm trying to see myself as such. But I know that if nothing changes, that 500 subscribers and 1,500 watch hours is laughable. But that's part of what makes it fun for me. It's laughable, so let's try, right? I know that if I reach my goal sooner, honestly, what might happen is luck. Something else hits the algorithm the way that my nano video did, and I reach people that way. But I want to be able to reach them with consistency more than luck. or at least remember that luck favors the consistent, luck favors the prepared, and I want to be consistent and prepared. My last goal, the reason that I have 3, is because this one has to do with my wrist recovery. If you've been watching any of my old videos, you might have noticed that I had either a black or a hard splint on my wrist for most of the last 12 weeks because I injured myself doing gymnastics 2 years ago. It wasn't healing. I was told that I needed to actually fully isolate it. Anyway, I graduated from occupational therapy, and the goal now, to my occupational therapist's chagrin, unfortunately, he doesn't love this for me, but I love it for me. I want to get back to doing at least yoga, ideally getting back to gymnastics as well, but that's going to take a while. I don't have range of motion in my wrist yet. I don't have the support. It's not strong enough, not after 12 weeks of not moving it. So for the next 12 weeks, my goal is to complete a 45-minute vinyasa with no modifications and no pain. I want to be able to do cat-cow. I want to be able to do down dog. I want to be able to be working toward crow. Crow is probably outside of my abilities right now, but it is on my list of where I want to be moving. I currently have a habit tracker that's specifically for my wrist therapy that automatically generates every day to help me track my reps and my sets of the exercises I do with weights at my desk. I want to formalize that with some other stretches and strengthening activities that I have researched that I know will help the particular injury that I had. I want to make it so that tracking is very nearly easier than not tracking. So I want to formalize a plan, check in regularly, and push myself while ensuring I don't push myself so hard that I end up injured more. So with that done, I can go back to here. So the best tactic I can think of for getting my musical done is, I think this is weird sounding, but important. I'm going to say that's an hour. I'll probably end up doing more than that. But this then counts writing Act 2, which I'm putting off, working on notation, which I'm putting off, reaching out to people I will absolutely be putting off, and 15 minutes will make a big difference. So I think that is actually the work goal that I need, and that's all I need. Tactics is where I actually feel like my system could use some work because I find it hard to figure out how to do anything but make a goal of spending time. I am honestly not sure that this is going to work for me. Hello, editing Rochelle, jumping in here because recording Rochelle made a mistake when I was updating this that I don't want you to make when you are working through your 12-week year. You'll notice that I was typing directly into the tactics right here to create each of my new items, adding new pages like this. But that's not going to work if you want them to automatically update the way that I was talking about, making it so easy that not recording is almost as hard as recording. So when you do this, you're going to have those tactic 1, tactic 2, tactic 3, tactic 4s as templates, and go under these 3 dots and press edit. That is how you're going to change the title, change the 12-week goal, and change the goals per week. Those are the only things that need to be updated in the template itself. And then if you ever need to make a new one, I think it's easiest to go in and duplicate one. You can then update the goal, change the title, change the goals per week, and it will repeat itself automatically. So that one we can delete because we don't need it. But you'll notice here, these are already set to repeat. They're set to repeat every week starting January 6th, 2025. And every single week, they will create a new place for you to come and check off your buttons. Do not use the new page here. And I find it so much more useful for myself if the page is already there and all I have to do is check off a button when I'm doing it. Anyway, that's all from editing me. Let's get back to our video. There we go. I feel like I'm going to really struggle with figuring out what tactics are going to work for me, but I do know that I like my little note here. I'm going to go ahead and check off 30 minutes recording and scripting a video today because I have clearly been working on that. And this is a template that is already pre-made. Whenever you add a goal, it's going to come with these questions, and this view of anything that is associated with the goal is going to automatically show up here, which means we really don't need to be looking at that. And then this I created just to show some of my leg measures to check in with where I'm at with the different aspects. So anyway, I'll create this for each part of the project so that I can note where I'm at with all of these different songs that I've written and who to reach out to and such. I probably will do a second table here. There we go. And I have that to do after this is finished. So this I've already filled out. Now, for what I decided to do for my leg measures here was note the different milestones that I could think of for what I want to be able to do. How I'm tracking that is by putting down the measure and then the date that I accomplished them. For YouTube, the way that I decided to do this is every week I'm going to check in, write down my subscribers and my watch hours. It's going to be as simple as that. It's just a really simple check in. This is the one that I would recommend for anything that makes sense to check. It just doesn't really make sense with my musical. It doesn't really make sense with my wrist. But that is the start of my 12-week goal. And now all I really have to do each day is come in, check off which of the tactics I have actually completed. And then at the end of the week, I'll come in and take a look at my tactics and take a look at my weekly review questions, and I'll respond to these once I've spent a week on this. Hopefully that helps you understand how to get these set up. You can add a new goal here with new page, add a new journal entry here with new page. And then, yeah, your tactics, it does take a little bit of work, especially to ensure that you have the goal per week accurate. And because like this, if I do yoga today, I'm a third of the way there. If I do this today, I'm only 14%. But if I do this, then I have 100% because I only need to do that once a week, really. So yeah, I hope that explains how to use this template and how to set up a 12-week year that will hopefully work for you. I feel really good about how this is going to work for me, at least, and I will see you in my next video. I wanted to add, as we're leaving, that if you want to get the template that I'm using in this video at a discount, go ahead and use the coupon code HWYT25, Hyperfocus Workshop, YouTube 25, for 25% off in the Notion Marketplace. I am officially a Notion Marketplace creator, so you can find my templates directly from Notion and buy them right there, which is just thrilling. And the cat's gone, so am I.